Hey, I'm Todd. Thanks for watching my video and do all that good YouTube stuff. Share it, like it, hit the notification bell, thumbs up, subscribe, all the things that you do. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video and saving some money perhaps. I also invite you to check out the links in the description for some long-term savings with the stock market and checking out the links for either E-Trade or M1 where you can save and trade fractional stocks, or Webull, which is usually giving away a couple free stocks for just depositing $100. So I strongly invite you to invest in your future and check them out. Thanks, and let's get to the video. 2013 Chevy Malibu front brake pad replacement, front brake rotor replacement. This one happens to have 22 millimeter lug nuts, but take the lug nuts off, break them loose, just a turn or two, and then jack up the vehicle. Use safety stands, protect yourself, pinch weld here, some pretty good metal, you can jack it up. Maybe jack it up here, but we got plastic in the way too, so if you want to do both sides, up to you on your car. So we can jack it up. Take the lug nuts off the rest of the way, and then we have our rotor, caliper, and caliper mount. Turn the wheel to the left or right, whichever side you're working on, make it a little easier to access things. So I like to collapse the caliper, make sure the slides are good and the piston's good. Something like that. Then get in here and collapse it, if it'll collapse. You can feel it moving. And check our slides. Ooh. Ooh. Well, there we go. Something was sticking a little bit there, not sure what. You get in here between the inner brake pad and rotor and continue to collapse it. We can collapse our piston all the way. Make it a little easier when we put it back together. Ooh, boom, collapsed. We'll see about those slides. I think they're going to be okay. I think it's catching on the brake pad, maybe, so we should be able to move it back and forth pretty easily. I think it's going to be fine. Do the same for the other side, then we'll know our calipers are good before we continue on. If something's seized up or not moving, then you should think about replacing your calipers. 14 millimeter. Everything's left to loosen, right to tighten. Oh, so the thing's moving. 14 and 17 for me here. See, that slide was good. Pads basically slide in and out, passenger side. Slide's good as well. That's good. 21 millimeter bolt for this. I'm gonna go ahead and use the impact gun, but you can use a 1/2 inch breaker bar and break it loose. If I didn't say it before, I'll say it again. All bolts are left to loosen. That's counterclockwise, and right to tighten. There's some Loctite on there. If you have a brush, you can brush that off. I think with the torque specs you're going to be fine. You could use some blue Loctite if you'd like to get some. I didn't see it, but there's a Torx bit in here Torx bolt. It's like a T30 it says, I believe, T30. So what you can do is when the caliper's here, put a screwdriver in here. When this is caliper's on, you put a screwdriver in here, it'll hold everything in place, and then you can break that Torx bit loose, Torx bolt loose. I'm going to use a gun, hopefully it'll come off. The rotor was pretty smooth, so as I usually say, if your rotor's smooth, if you don't have any brake pedal pulsation or steering wheel shaking, when braking, you could possibly leave the rotor on and just throw some brake pads on it, put the lower bolt back in and be good to go in just a little bit. But you could have a problem with noise doing that, so that's not how we roll. I'm going to replace brake pads and rotors. Here we go. I'm going to put the rotor back on. New rotor. So we got our new rotor on here. This is a fully coated rotor. You don't need to do anything. It's from Asbestos rust prevention technology, they say. So you take it out of the box and throw it on. But if you have a rotor with exposed metal, it probably has oil on it, and you want to wash it with some warm soap and water, both sides, everywhere. Wash with warm soap and water, then rinse it off with water. It should be good to go. Towel dry it if you'd like. Keep surface rust from showing up. So got this bolted back up, and we're good to go, and we can reinstall our caliper bracket. Alright, they actually want those bolts tightened to 111 foot-pounds, then an additional 45-degree turn, and then an additional 15-degree turn. It sounds a little ridiculous, doesn't it? Instead of, plus they have some yellow Loctite or something on it too. Did they have problems with these things falling off on there when they first started building them? So we'll, I guess we'll torque them and degree them, and we'll put our brake pads in, put the caliper on. Slides were good, but I'm going to put just a little bit more lubricant on them. $20 foot-pounds for that bolt as well. Pretty easy, right? Replacing your front brake pads and rotors on your 2013 Chevy Malibu, I believe. I have the lug nuts in a crisscross pattern. And we'll go to the master cylinder and talk about the fluid level there. And get you the wheel lug nut torque spec. Wheel lug nuts are torqued to 111 foot-pounds. Tighten them in a crisscross pattern as tight as you can, and drop the vehicle down so the wheels are touching and won't spin. And torque them down to the appropriate number, 111 foot-pounds. So here's our torque wrench, which we can do foot-pounds, inch-pounds, degrees, which is what we want, because we want 45 and 15. So we're on a 45. And then we'll go ahead and do that. Already took, this is the other side, but I already went to 111 on it. Going to show you how it works a little bit, I guess. You can certainly kind of guess the degrees yourself. For this one, you just go until it buzzes or makes noise on you, and then you just set it to 15 degrees and do the same thing. So there wasn't a lot to see there, but torque it to 111 foot-pounds, and you get your degree torque wrench, or you guess on the degrees for the bolt turning. and turn it 45 degrees and then 15 degrees. Easy peasy, I guess. Here we are under the hood. There's a maximum here and a minimum here for the brake fluid. The Chevy Malibu, I believe. So it screws on, screws off. Keep an eye on your .3 brake fluid level. It's not too low, not too high. And that's it. Pump the brake pedal a few times when you're done with your brakes. Check your fluid level. Add or subtract as needed. Good luck to you.